everybody. How y'all doing? Canal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Odd day for me in the markets. The market was flat, but a lot of stocks were flushing. We did okay, made about 5K or so. Um, there were still stocks running around. Even though the market's hanging out here, it looks a lot weaker than it's showing. We're starting to see some distribution in some other types of stocks, and you're starting to see some movement. You can see with the small caps. We tapped right into yearly highs and we broke right back down. We're at the 50-day moving average. Looks like a 200-day moving average test. It's going to be in a tricky spot tomorrow because there are a lot of the kind of riskier name stocks that look ready for a short. But then, the IWM, the small cap index is kind of at a bounce point. And so we're going to have to measure and really react around these particular catalysts and make sure that, we don't go balls to the wall short if there's an impending bounce. And so it's going to be a little bit tricky tomorrow, but there are a lot of good setups. The Qs, they were off its game today too, but kind of like the S&P, hanging around highs, but once again, we have the small caps that's leading down the way, and we'll see if that brings down the other indices. But regardless, in the meantime, it's definitely a tradable market both ways. The key is if you can't short, you're really screwed. If you're just waiting around for long, so you're going to be waiting around for a long time. You've got to be able to play things both ways. Let's go with GRH. On watch for a short. We're on day 2 of the run here. Another big update on this. It's too early to short because you're only on day 2 of its flag breakout, but another big run on this stock, and I'll start looking at this thing short. You don't want to get ahead of something like this too early. You usually need that 3rd day, but we're starting to get into some rare territory here. But once again, we're just on day 2 of the run, so I think we need one more. Glue, I tried this bad boy today. I got a weird entry on it. I think it looks like it's pretty strong. It might need to run into 7 before we get the crack on it. But you can see once you get so far away from your MAs and stuff like that, and there's an impending flush coming on it. But you know what? That flush might take it back down to 550, maybe 6. So it's not like this stock is done. You can see by the volume pattern that there's definitely, a change in character on this stock, and it's here to stay for a while. But on a short-term basis, definitely looking at it on the short side. EMES, I love the look on this one. This thing's just coiled up for a run. Like the volume pattern here. Kind of looks like 110 has been holding it down. Keep an eye on this one. Blue, pretty weak stock today. It's got 32 as a big level here. So if it opens up light and then, it goes green to red, or we see some type of a really, really solid intraday setup that takes us down through 32. I'll be all over that on the short side. SKX, this is more of a swing stock. Again, this is more of a flat top breakout, but actually I'm taking this off the list. This market's not really good for this type of stuff. Take that off. Trip, this is a bear flag. We've got a volume distribution going. It's hugging under its 20 SMA. Can't get over it. It looks like we've got to tap right into the 50. This one's still only 8 points off its highs. There is room to fall on this bad boy. SCTY, another bear flag on this one. After the big swoosh, we got about 5 days of consolidation. I tried it a couple times today, taking 10 cents, 20 cent loss and 10 cent, 20 cent gain. It just wasn't ready, but any day, it's coming. Any day now. We'll probably see it tap back to that 60. Lynn, for those of you guys that kind of like to swing stuff, and this is another stock that could break out to new highs here. You've got a really easy way to mitigate your risk. Not really a good day trade stock. It doesn't have the volume nor the range. This is kind of the stuff that I more play in my IRAs. TSEM, same type of deal as Lynn. Really, really, it's a solid chart pattern through 10. Just one of those things. You're probably not going to get the best day trade opportunities out of it, but it looks pretty good here, and your risk is really, really managed. CDXS, we killed this thing today. I shorted this thing at 245, then at 232, then I added more at 216. I took this bad boy all the way down. If it pops up at the open tomorrow, I'll look again to short that first pop. It still is up 43% today, so it's got some room to play with, but definitely something I want to keep on my list. UNXL, this thing looks kind of ready. You know, it looks kind of ready. The whole question is just going to be, you know, are we going to have some real spec money and risk flying around? That's when you want to play this type of thing. Otherwise, you know, it could break and fade real easy. W day, bear flag, pretty key level here. LITB, if the market bounces, I like the location of this after the earnings run, this pullback to support. VHI, I'll only play this too if the market is starting to fly, but really just a low volume, tight kind of pullback here. Oversold, you know, that's the type of stock that will get picked up if the market starts to fly. SPLK, another bear flag. EVRY, you know, this one is a little bit tricky to kind of draw, you know, its lines and parameters. You know, you might have to look at it kind of a different time frame on it to really nail it down. It looks a lot better like if you look at an hourly or 30-minute. So, you know, kind of right around there. It's starting to coil. On the daily, sometimes what happens is things will look a little bit choppy, especially with small cap stocks. I find the 30-minute charts are really easy to kind of get a clean view of things. So, you know, that's something that I use when I can't figure out where the heck the trend lines are. I move it to a 30-minute and see it makes a lot more sense, and it looks a lot cleaner. Dun, 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 dun. BIS, this is a biotech short index. You know, you can see with the kind of IBB and stuff, we're starting to get kind of a little bit of a rollover pattern here, especially under 250. BIV is, you know, or BIB, I believe, is the 2X ETF to go long biotech. So you could short this thing too. This is a bear flag. So, you know, you could take one of these ETFs if you want to short some bios. Eagly, you know, this is a real high risk type of play, but it is starting to bottom out here. Watch a quick push over 180. I'd only play this if I started to see some volume kind of, if I get the hint that volume might be coming in or creeping in, if the setup is just real solid. Sometimes you can anticipate when the volume's going to come. Usually once the volume's in there, the move might have already been too late. So you got to really, it's a two-way street. You got to really watch it tight. And then Tour. You know, Tour is something, and the breakout's at like 19. I wouldn't buy this thing at highs. You gotta watch this thing and anticipate when it's about to break out, time it, measure your risk, and then go. You know, it's always sucker's game usually in this type of market if you're the one buying at highs. So remember that. Anticipate, measure your risk, get in before everybody, and then if it doesn't work, your risk is really small. So that's it for now, guys. Tricky times. Let me know if you guys are having any trouble trading. You can always email me or something like that. KUNAL@BULLSON.WS. Take care.